The Podcasting Dead is available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Make sure to subscribe for more podcasts. And while you're at it, drop us a like. If you want to help support the channel and have access to extra content, secret contests, and more, make sure to search for us on Patreon. Patreon.com/The Podcasting Dead.
It's time to talk about The Walking Dead, the world beyond. I always want to say a world beyond, but I think it's the world beyond.
I think it's just world beyond. I don't think there is a preposition. Beyond.
Either way, I haven't cared until now. Yeah. Because this show has just been super boring. But I will say, I actually enjoyed this past Sundays, and this would make it, episode 7? Yeah. Because it's one ahead of Fear the Walking Dead, and Fear the Walking Dead just had episode 6. Yeah. So this would be episode 7 of World Beyond. And before we begin, I'm Justin.
I'm JP.
And we're the Podcasting Dead. If you like podcasts in general, not just about The Walking Dead, be sure to check out our channel because we podcast about all sorts of things. We'll give a link to our Patreon at the end because that way if you enjoyed it, then you can go help support the channel and get even more podcasts for very little. But anyways, as we get into episode 7, we've been saying, I think you and I, for a little while now, that Huck was probably one of our favorite characters. We found Felix to be interesting some of the time, but not as much. Really like Huck, want to know more about her, and by God, we got that this episode.
Yeah, it was some really good flashbacks, man. Like I said, I'll go ahead and tell you going into it, I did fall asleep towards the end. It was the 3 a.m. repeat.
You still saw most of it, though.
I saw most of it, man, and yeah, the Huck flashbacks, I missed the last flashback that showed you what really kind of made her who she is, but yeah, dude, I mean, the flashbacks were really great. That was a high point. Seeing, I missed last week's episode, but seeing Pete Hornberger from 30 Rock as the kooky magician uncle.
Well, while he was alive.
Right, I didn't see that either, but that was really good. I love that actor. So, I mean, I still didn't care that much about the teenage whatever's going on.
Well, the good thing is we didn't get too much of that. Yeah, we got, like I said, I keep thinking that they want me to like Iris. I keep thinking the show is aimed in a way that Iris is supposed to be the Rick of this show, and I'm supposed to love her. And I'm not going to lie, Iris is probably one of my least favorite characters on the whole show. And I mean, that's not I really don't want to discourage the actress because I don't think it's her fault. It's just that I don't really care much about Iris. I mean, you didn't give her anything really interesting other than she's got a great can-do attitude. And I think that's why I dislike her. Hope seems more designed for the Walking Dead world. Iris seems more designed for like a new Disney Channel show where it's like, we're in peril, but my can-do attitude and positive outlook's going to get us through it. Come on, guys, we can do this. I don't like that. Not on The Walking Dead. Don't need that. But, you had a little bit of the teenage angsty stuff with Iris and the magician nephew kid, but other than that, this was a really good episode, very character driven. We learned a lot about Huck. We learned that she was a Marine. We learned that when Schnitt hit the fan, at one point she was basically ordered to just neutralize everything. I guess it was one of those, we can't let the infection get out, so whether they're alive, even if they're not infected, if they're alive, it's a chance they could be infected. We don't know. We have to wipe everything that walks
Scorched earth, baby,
out.
Yeah.
And Huck just can't do this because, and it's very brutal, too. I know that, the military sometimes, I guess, been ordered to do some screwed up stuff, and it's ordered by but I just I guess having so many friends in the military and having a veteran as a father and stuff, I always hate shows that depict like the military is lining up American citizens and gunning them down because not saying that couldn't happen, but I just don't feel like it would go that way. I mean, because like my buddy Brian's been in the Marines for, God, over almost coming up on a decade now. And, whenever you talk to him about this stuff, he's like, dude, I can tell you right now, yes, we're trained. We follow orders. We are, we know that's our role. But, I mean, we also know that if our government is ordering us to gun down our people, then clearly that's, there's a part of the Constitution that says that if it gets bad enough, the military is to unseat the president.
Yeah.
And take control until a new president, something to that effect. I'm not an expert on that topic, but he was telling me, he was like, dude, I know most of my Marines, and I can tell you, if we were told to line up American citizens and gun them down, zombie apocalypse or not many of them are going to do that. You know what I'm saying? You will start having people despite the punishment, walk off or say, I'm not doing, you'll start having some inner turmoil there. But
so you think if coronavirus gets bad enough and they're just kill everyone, they may be a carrier.
I know my boy
that?
Brian wouldn't do it. I would hope. But anyways, I hate when it's like depictions of like the military but they did try to humanize it. The commanding officer is like, I don't like this any more than you do. But anyway, so Huck and her people are ordered to gun down innocent people, including children. And Huck can't do it. And like a savage, she just turns and guns down all of her own people, including one of her best friends. I don't know if there was any romantic relationship there between them. I thought maybe there might be, but you could just tell they were very close. They were in the, but it was cool seeing her before all of this. And I thought it was just a very well written, and it was directed by Michael Cutlitz.
Yeah, I thought that was the case.
A.K.A. Abraham from The Walking Dead. And that might have, and I didn't know that till after. But I like this one better. And I mean, I'm glad that we're getting somewhere with the Hope and Elton's mom. Mm-hmm. I mean, she got drunk and she confesses it to Huck, and, Huck's telling her, and we know that's how Huck got that scar. She cut it on her. So every time she looked in the mirror, she was reminded of what she'd done, and Huck kind of telling her like, look, we've all had to do things that we don't want to do. I mean, it doesn't make you a bad person. I mean, that's just,
Yeah, man, how weird was that that new kid, just with the truth or dare game, what's the worst thing you've ever done? Like, does he think he's going to score with a chick by, like, asking her something like that?
Yeah, I thought that was stupid. That was just a plot device to get her pushed to that point where she would go be upset and talk to Huck. But, I mean, I really felt it was unnecessary. He could have just asked one time, like, what's the worst thing you've done? And when she said that, I mean, just from a writing standpoint, you could be like, well, if that's the worst you've had to do, you've gotten off pretty well, and then maybe the guilt from that makes her go talk to Huck. But just him pushing it like he knows she's done something. So you've known this girl for like a day.
Right.
It's not like you've been on the road with her for a long time. You've gotten to know her and how she reacts to certain things, and you think she's hiding something. I want to push and find out. Like, that was just a slightly, I would say, poorly executed plot device. I mean, I feel like you could have honestly had it innocently and just been like, what's the worst thing you've had to do, since the sky fell, or however they say it, and then be like, tell the whole laxative story and be like, well, if that's the worst thing you've done, you've gotten off pretty lucky, my friend. And then maybe just knowing that, no, I have done worse makes her want to go talk. But that is a dumb question, too. I mean, I've been a teenager. I've played Truth or Dare. We don't go, hey, hot girl, what's the worst thing you've ever done? It might be like, what's the naughtiest thing you've ever done?
I know. I feel like he wanted her to say something like, so I jerked two guys off at the same time once. And, he ended up score. I mean, it was just like, geez, man, could you be any more is there like one teenage boy in this whole show that's not like a creepy guy with some kind of weird issues?
Elton.
I mean, he's not creepy. He's
weird.
I mean, that was a weird kind of hug he gave her when he was drunk. But.
Yeah, but I think Elton is not, I actually like Elton and Hope and Huck are like my three saving graces for the show. I do generally like those characters, and if you were going to tell me they were completely just be, I know they're only doing 2 seasons, but this show was disbanded, but Hope, Huck, and because Huck would be a great addition to another one of the shows. I mean, she's a badass.
Yeah,
like she could definitely hold her own. But those are the main 3. Felix, I like Felix, and I want to care about Felix, but I really don't as much as I feel like I should. Mm-hmm. Whereas with Huck, it kind of came natural. I like the character, and then we learn more about her. We get that really good. I thought the scene where the guy had the gun to Iris was really well done.
Yeah.
And I like that Huck gets him and kind of saves her and has him, but, still chooses to kill him. And again, she's like, see, sometimes we have to do things, that we don't want to do. Yeah.
It was a pretty good episode, man.
And then we get to the point that left my jaw on the floor, and I am proud of the World Beyond for that, because to this point they've not left my jaw on the floor. Well, they have, because I sleep with my mouth open. But
for real?
Yeah, it's a bad thing.
Are you worried about?
I was joking with our pal Matt that I'm really worried if I die in my sleep that I'm going to be one. Because I'm one of those. If I get on my back, I'm like, mouth open. I look like a dead body. So I'm like, dude, if I die in my sleep, I'm going to look so flictated. So I like trying to make myself kind of curl in and lay with my head down. So at least if you find me, like if I died in my sleep, at least I just look like I'm sleeping. Whereas the way I normally sleep, you'd walk in and go, oh my God, is he dead? But no, so the times it's made me doze off definitely made my jaw hit the floor because I fell asleep.
Right.
But this one, man, God, that ending. So Magician Uncle and I'm assuming his nephew are dead. His face was so smashed in. I didn't even realize that was him at first.
Yeah. I'm going to have to, if nothing else, watch the end, man. That's crazy. Oh, poor Pete Hornberger.
And it got me, like, please correct me if I'm wrong, because you got to remember, you have to watch his show so late. And I'm not always my most awake at, 10:30, 10:45 on a Sunday night because I know I have to turn around and get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock the next morning. But that was him, right? Like, I'm assuming that was him because the whole thing was – because I was like, well, there was that one guy Huck had to kill. Maybe he had someone else that was in there and Silas just had to kill someone. But it seems like Cyrus killed the uncle, bashed his face in, and we're going to find out he killed the nephew because the whole preview for the next episode showed how they're going to basically leave Silas behind. He's kind of going crazy.
Damn, they're just going to maroon his ass? Mm-hmm. Wow.
I mean, he just killed 2 innocent people. Those guys were helping him. They started off on a rough foot, but I mean, they've learned that these people aren't bad people. They could have left them to die, but instead felt bad about the predicament they left them in, so they came back and saved them, showing that, yeah, they wanted to steal their supplies, but they weren't necessarily evil, murderous people. They're just trying to survive as everyone else is. And I mean, I know stealing supplies is almost as bad as killing, but I mean, in their mind, they probably just thought, they'll get more supplies. We need these.
Were they going to steal their supplies at the end of this last episode, or was
no, the one before?
That was last week.
Yeah, that was last week. He faked being shot in the head, and he took their stuff, threw it in the truck.
I remember you telling me.
And was leaving. And so, they were going to steal their supplies, but I mean, they could have shot them, killed them. They didn't want to do that. So they realized these aren't bad people.
Right.
And so the fact that Silas, because the whole thing with, Iris and the nephew, was like, can you meet me at the truck in an hour? I need my clothes. And she's like, well, I've got your clothes. My hands ain't cold right now, but they might be in an hour. Just basically trying to seductively get her out there. And he had set up this really cool, like, date thing with pictures. And
wow.
It confused me at first because she went out there and then she just, like, slept. And I'm like, I thought he said meet him there in an hour. I guess maybe he just wanted to show her that he was capable of being.
He's got the nesting instinct.
Like maybe, yeah. I thought he was supposed to be there with her, but I guess maybe it was just giving her her own space. I don't know. And then she came in and she's like trying to find him, and I'm like, oh snap.
So Silas basically just did the ultimate cock block.
Big time. Oh yeah, Silas was very jealous of their budding relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know why he had to kill the uncle though.
Yeah, for real.
But I mean, smashed his face in, dude. Smashed his face in with the wrench, and it's like. They haven't said it was Silas, but like, Silas was hiding in the bathroom, like in the room where the dead body was Silas's big wrench covered in blood. And in the bathroom stall was Silas sitting there looking batshit crazy. And wow. I totally think, like I said, man, I was very happy with last night's episode. And I dare say if the rest of the season had this tone, this, like, learning. I don't know what it is. I mean, really, when you think about it, every episode's shown you something about a character's past, but it's just something about this one got me. And I don't know. Without that ending, I don't know how I would have felt. If it would have ended on a high note like the rest, I might be sitting here talking about how horrible it was. But I like that, holy crap. It just smashed in who I thought was going to be a main character's face. And I think killed his nephew.
So, do you think Silas is going to did they kind of like carol him? Do you think he's been, like banned from the group?
Hasn't yet.
Save him later?
But the previews looks like he's going to be banned next up. He should be.
You think that's what they're going to do, though? Is like he'll be banished and then we'll come back to save the day later on?
I hope he gets banished and becomes a villain, man. I want another tragic villain.
So you think he'll be stalking them, trying
I hope so.
Pick them off one by one?
Which you and I have said pretty much from the beginning, we don't care. Silas is just not a likable character, so I really don't care if they kill him or not. The best way they could save that character and make him interesting is to make him become like this obsessed psycho that's stalking them. And, but yeah, so that blew my mind, and I really want to hear what people think, because I'm just waiting for somebody to be like, no, that won't the uncle. That was just some random guy. But Pretty sure that was the uncle. He was unrecognizable considering, he didn't have a face anymore.
Maybe you said he was really good with prosthetic makeup. Maybe he just did a really, really, really good job.
I want that Silas boy out of here. I can see him cock blocking from a nephew.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But yeah, no, I thought the flashbacks for Huck were great. Makes me like her character even more. I enjoy the interaction between her and Hope. I like I remember liking their relationship when they were in that school and that wasted opportunity to have a killer savage dog wolf come after them instead.
Yeah.
It was more realistic because, like I said, I've, not retreading, but, just if you're just joining us, I remember we mentioned that episode where they were in the school and the wolf was there, but it didn't attack them. Like, reading that the one thing a lot of these wild animal or dinosaur, whatever movies get wrong is if a predator is eating something and you walk by, unless it thinks you're trying to take its food, it's usually not going to pursue you. Why would it leave a fresh meal that is right there it can tear into to risk trying to get your, and humans, we're,
right.
like to risk getting you where there's no guarantee of success and it might come back and something else is taking its meal. Like animals typically, like if you're in the wild and a tiger just took down a gazelle, more than likely you're going to be able to walk by as long as you don't trigger its chase response or whatever, unless you start messing with its food. It's got food. It's preoccupied. You don't go to Taco Bell, look across the street and see McDonald's and stop mid-taco and just run over to McDonald's. So I'm glad they got that right, but a killer attacking wolf would have been dope.
Yeah, it would have.
But I like their interactions in the school together. I thought, okay, they've got pretty good some of the best on-screen chemistry we've had from anyone in this show. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad to see them which is weird because, the girl that plays Hope is, 25 in real life, and the girl that plays Huck is, I think, 31. I was looking it up last night. Right. So they're not really that far, like 6 years apart, but it's played almost like Huck is this adult and she's like, I'm imagining 16 or 17.
Yeah.
When it's like, we're old enough to party together.
Yeah, sure enough.
But I don't know, man. I was very disappointed we didn't get anything after the credits.
There was no CRM or
not to my
CLZ
knowledge. I thought I missed it. I was waiting because they found all these documents from the CRM because they're hitting up CRM outposts where fuel is, Yeah,
I remember they had like the map and they found this, that, and the other.
Yeah, and they found these little documents, and I thought like somebody was going to lay one down and we would be able to briefly see like Rick Grimes or something on one of them, but to my knowledge, we didn't. Now, please let me know. I didn't, I've only watched it once. I haven't read anything on it yet, so if that was revealed, please let us know in the comments section so we can share that. But I was kind of waiting for that, and then it didn't happen, to my knowledge. And if it did, it was very fast.
Yeah. How pissed off are you going to be if, like, episode 10, you just see, like, a zombie Rick in their laboratory? And
I'd be furious.
Yeah. Oh, boy. But no, I'm, I'm a little bit more anxious to see what happens in the next one.
You got Cowboy Morgan, now prepare for Zombie Rick.
Oh, man.
I'm Zombie Rick. But... no, I want some connection to Rick, man. I get it. We are getting a connection with the CRM, but that's the thing is I want to learn. I thought the point of the show was to help me learn more about the CRM or to learn more about, I thought that was the point of the show was to connect us to the Rick movies. And maybe it is, I'm just being impatient, but we just got through, that was episode 7, correct? So that means 3 more left this season.
I believe so.
And I don't, I want to learn more about the CRM. I know they're trying to come up with a cure or a immunization to the thing. But
yeah. I don't know, man.
My thing is, all right, let's go back to the beginning here because the whole everyone turns is a cool twist. But my question, so then, the question is, so then what about the bite kills you? I guess it's all the bacteria and infection and things in the mouth, but isn't that treatable as well?
Yeah, there's definitely something unique to the bite. Like you said, an infection, you can still treat it with antibiotics or something.
Yeah, I feel like if a zombie bites you because originally the thought is a virus enters your body and just immediately, it's a fast-acting virus, and that's why when you get bit, you're doomed. But then they reveal, no, it isn't the bite that turns you into a zombie. The bite kills you. Yeah. And then your body comes back as the Walking Dead. Okay, so what in the bite is it killing you? And if it's just the infection, because the last time we asked this, somebody gave us a really smart-ass answer. And I'm like, well, my question, I'm just confused. So someone explain it to me. you get bit and the bacteria and all the decay in the mouth is what kills you. And if that's the case, if you had the right, antibiotics and the right, ointments and stuff, couldn't you kind of stop that infection or treat it or have a chance of surviving a zombie bite? But we're led to believe a bite without an amputation is a certain death sentence.
Yep. So
I'm just confused on how the whole bite already infected, how all of that correlates. Does the bite have something in it that activates? Like, I wants to know. And I'm hoping the CRM is going to explain a little bit more on that. But
yeah.
The thing is, if they do, it'll be unique though, because Robert Kirkman said when he was writing the comics that he had zero interest in explaining where the virus came from, how we got it. That was just a small detail. That was more of a setting than it was a main plot device. It just in the way of like, and I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but that was just a part of the world. It wasn't the focus of the series, so he didn't feel the need to explain where it came from or how we all got infected, which is kind of like, I get where he's coming from, but that's a big plot twist. Yeah. I needs to know, how are we all infected?
Right.
Did it come from space? Is it something that got in the atmosphere and we all breathed it in?
I don't think we'll ever know.
I don't know, man. I'm hoping the CRM is going to give us some. I mean, they're studying this crap, so hopefully there's going to be some explanation there.
Yeah, and if they do give an explanation, I don't think Robert Kirkman will have anything to do. I mean, does he really even have anything to do with the show?
It says he's like an executive producer.
But I wonder if that's just kind of like a courtesy,
Yeah.
Like I wonder if he really has any kind of like creative role in the series. No.
I've wondered the same thing. Like, is he in there with them, helping them produce it and write it? I know it's written by different people, but I mean, of course, it says created by Robert Kirkman and somebody. So I don't know. I wonder what his role is with the World Beyond and Fear the Walking Dead.
Yep.
Even the main Walking Dead, it don't look like he's got as much to do with it.
Nah, dude, and he's had issues with AMC, like legal battles and stuff. So I don't know.
But yeah, let us know what you thought. I actually really enjoyed this episode a lot better than I was expecting. I've gotten to the point where when I'm like, all right, Fear the Walking Dead's gone off, I just want to go to bed.
Yeah.
Got to stay up and watch World Beyond. I was very pleasantly surprised that I was not only awake, but very into it. Of course, I watched it much earlier than JP did. I watched it at 10 to 11 versus you watching it at 3 o'clock in the morning. Ain't no way I could have done that.
No.
But so let us know your thoughts. Did you like it? Did you hate it? We got to rate it. So based on what you've seen and what I've told you, you can base your rating on. I'm going to base mine off of actually seeing it. Bam. I'm giving it a 4.
You giving it a 4?
Just because, it might not have been that good of an episode, but because of all of the boringness to come before it and being it was one I actually was into, I'm just going to go ahead and, I would say realistically like a 3.5 out of 5, but I'm going to go ahead and just give it that extra 4.
Based on how you told me it ended, even though I didn't see it, I'll give it a 3. Like I said, I love the Huck stuff. The interaction with the kids, I still didn't really care too much about, but the flashbacks were awesome. From what you described to me, it had a really kick-ass ending, so I'll give it a 3.
Hopefully Huck's going to be the unexpected hero of the show. Like, you think it's focusing on Iris or Felix, but hopefully Huck's going to shine through. I think she's a great character. I think the actress does a really good job. She's got a really cool backstory. She's tough. She's relatable. Like, I want more of Huck now. Don't give us this and then kill her next episode. I swear, if like Silas kills her, I'm not going to watch the show anymore.
Right.
If it's one of those things where like they're sleeping and Cyrus comes up and kills her in her sleep, I'm like, yep, I'm done.
Yeah.
Give us more Huck.
Please.
She's awesome. But yeah, so that's going to wrap it up for our review and discussion of The World Beyond episode 7. Only 3 more left, and then we've only got 1 season left of this show, and I'm just I want it to get good. It's kind of like I'm a parent.
Yeah.
Even when the Walking Dead shows suck, I don't hate them. I want to see them do better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you tomorrow on our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/thepodcastingdead. We do 2 extra podcasts a week, and you can get them for as little as $1 a month. Though if you want to throw us $5-10 a month, that helps out a lot too. But eventually going for the goal of video podcasts. But we'll see you there, and if not, we'll see you back here in the general public on Wednesday for our Weird Wednesday. And then Friday, we're back for more Walking Dead What Ifs. So until we meet again, I'm Justin.
And I'm JP.
And we're the Podcasting Dead.